This is late. Late video. Happy birthday. Sometimes in like One Piece, a gag like isn't just a gag. Like it's not just there for like laughs. You know, like at least this is how I interpret it. For example, with like Zoro, like Zoro's lostness isn't like it's a gag. Yes, it's hilarious and it's funny. And this is a compilation of Zoro getting lost for 10 minutes. That's what we're playing here. It's funny, but it's also like super important to the story, you know, because Zoro is the second guy we meet. If Zoro was capable and like maybe it would just be Luffy and him sailing to the Grand Line, you know, but Zoro gets lost. It's probably how Zoro ended up where he ended up in the first place is because he got lost, you know? So it shows that you need somebody else. Luffy cannot do it alone, and he can't just do it with two people. And it's just further reinforced by the fact that Zoro gets lost so easily. And so like yeah, it's like funny to like watch how the fuck yeah, how did you even get lost? He gets lost so easy. He gets lost going in a straight line. Okay? That's how lost Zoro gets. So it's like not only is it hilarious, but it reinforces like that concept that you can't. It's a journey that Luffy cannot take alone. He can't take it with two people. You know, the Zoro is like serious, and he's like you can get laughs out of Zoro, but like he's not like always laughing and joking around like the fucking Goofy trio is Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp. You know, there's that, but like this isn't just like here with that. Like sometimes a gag isn't just like a gag, like it's part of the narrative story. It's really important. For example, Sanji is always getting beaten up by women because he refuses to hit them. All right, and you might be thinking like, why does Sanji refuse to hit women? Maybe it's because he's the only male crew member that actually knows his mom and loves his mom and had an amazing relationship with his mom. And not only that, well, Usopp, I think Usopp's mom died. Sanji's mom died too. But let me push it further with the Sanji point actually. In that like when Sanji was young, the only person who was nice to him was his mother. That's the one woman in his life who gave him true love and actually like cared about him and shit. And that was it. He had a sister. His sister was the second nicest person to him, and even she was still a dick to him most of the time and just set him free like once. Here you go. I feel sorry for you, you poor little fucking creature that's always getting abused, you know? So how could you ever hit a woman if the only person while you were being raised who was nice to you was a woman? You know, like it's not. Sometimes a gag isn't just a gag. So I don't anticipate Sanji will ever hit a woman. Or
Just want to also add in here this part where it shows, hey, men can't hit women. He's been taught that from a young age. Also, it literally saves his life later with the whole Pudding thing. Pudding decides not to shoot him just because of how nice he is to her. Because Sanji likes who she actually is. So many people say that she's ugly, like her actual person, her actual eye, who she really is. So when Sanji, who's told, all women are beautiful, all women are queens, you can't hit them, interacts with her, and it's like, hey, the real you is beautiful. And that also saves his life and kind of saves Pudding.
being in a spot like that. Yeah, I did have a note here. So he might be the only one with a mom. I think that's inaccurate. Again, yeah, Usopp has a mom. But let's talk about Usopp actually. Fun thing with Usopp. You see in Usopp's design, like Usopp is a liar and he's a coward, and we know that, and it's a big part of his character, and you get some laughs out of it a lot of the time, and it's not just demonstrated in the way he acts; it's also demonstrated in the way he looks. If you see Usopp has a long nose, I do not think that is on accident. You know who else has a long nose when they lie? Pinocchio. I think it's like sort of like a Pinocchio type thing. So like it's a gag, it's hilarious, but it also comes from somewhere. Like Oda is such a fucking genius, man. All right, let's do an easy one though, an easy one that you don't have to look too deep to even think about. Nami. Nami loves money. Cat burglar Nami. Whatever. Why does she love money? Because she wants money so that she can buy her freedom out and also save her island. Simple. That's a nice linear one that everyone can sort of understand. And then like just this last one, I didn't have a lot off the top of my head. I just sort of came up with this in like 15 minutes. So this last one's just going to be about the ship. You see the Going Merry starts getting like more damaged and more damaged along the trip, and it like becomes a gag. Stuff starts falling on them, and the mast is broken and falls over, and they have to put a brace around it to keep the mast up so that they can keep sailing and stuff. And the ship just gets more broken and more broken, and it's a little bit of a gag, but it's also getting sad. And it's because of the very simple fact that they don't have a shipwright. They don't have a person who's working on the ship. Usopp's doing his fucking best, but he doesn't know anything about ships, you know? So that also sort of enforces the fact that they're going to need one if this journey is going to go any further. Like, not only do they need a new ship, but they're also going to need a shipwright, you know? And that's, boom, Frankie comes in, you know? And I'm sure we could do like, I'm sure there's a gag there with Frankie being naked all the time. I could probably go into. I'm sure there's like a Robin gag with her sense of humor, or maybe even like just being the most wanted child of all time. I'm sure there's some gag there. Chopper being a reindeer raised by a doctor. I don't know. Well, yeah. There's a gag actually with Chopper. Chopper's a blue-nosed reindeer. You know, Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer, as I assume what they're playing off of there. And it's just, you know, no one wanted to be friends with Rudolph, you know. No one wanted to be friends with Rudolph at all, you know, because he was different. He had a different color nose and shit. And then here comes Chopper, you know, same thing, different color nose. Nobody fucked with him. He ate the human fruit, yada, yada. So that's off the top of my head. But that's it. I just wanted to say, you know, One Piece is awesome, and sometimes a gag isn't just a gag.